Every so often, something comes along that completely changes the game. And right now, we're on the cusp of one of those moments in the industrial world, a shift that could be just as big as the steam engine. We're talking about a new kind of AI that's getting ready to reshape our most critical industries, literally from the ground up.
Think about it. For so long, we've seen automation as just a tool, a powerful one for sure, but still just a tool that follows orders. But that's all starting to change. So the big question we're digging into today is this. What happens when that tool starts to act more like a collaborator? What if it could be a genuine teammate, working right alongside our best human experts? To really get a handle on where we're headed, we've got to look back at where we've been. This isn't some overnight revolution. We're talking about a move beyond simple automation, and it's a journey that's been in the making for a long, long time. You can see this clear progression, right? It's not just about better tech. It's about gaining more and more control. It all started way back with the steam engine, super basic stuff. Then, fast forward to the mid-20th century, and boom, we get electronics that let us monitor things from afar. By the late 20th century, we had whole plants running on automated systems. And then, of course, the digital revolution gave us the power to predict problems before they even happen. Every single step has been about getting smarter and more precise, and it's all led us right here, to this moment.
And this is the moment we're talking about. This is where agentic AI enters the picture. And believe me, this isn't just the next step on that timeline. It's a total pivot. We're changing the fundamental question we ask our machines. We're going from do this task to achieve this goal.
Okay, so what is it really? What is agentic AI? Well, think of it like this. It's an AI system that has autonomy. It can see its environment, it can set its own goals, make decisions, and take action. But here's the absolute kicker. It learns from what happens next. It's that full circle, perceive, act, and adapt that makes this a complete game changer.
This chart really spells it out. Traditional AI, it's all about the task. You tell it, hey, analyze this one chunk of data, or keep an eye on this one valve. Super specific. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is goal-oriented. You give it a big picture goal, like maximize the output of this entire refinery, and do it safely. The agent then figures out all the steps, dozens, maybe hundreds of them to make that happen. It's adjusting things, rerouting flows, and learning the whole time. Totally different ballpark.
So when you have this kind of powerful AI, it completely changes the role of the people working alongside it, right? It has to. If the AI isn't just a simple tool anymore, then the human can't be just a simple operator. The job itself has to evolve.
And this quote from Ram Nitaki, a reservoir engineer, just nails it. He says, people are becoming managers of agents. Think about that. Your value isn't tied up in doing the grunt work anymore, the endless calculations, the manual simulations. Instead, your expertise is in setting the big strategy, in directing a whole team of AI agents that handle the day-to-day execution. It's a promotion, really, from being the doer to being the director. So what does this new human AI team actually look like? Well, it breaks down into three main models. First, you've got the co-pilot. This is where the AI is like a helpful assistant, making suggestions, but the human is still in the driver's seat, doing the actual work. It's safe, sure, but it doesn't really scale up. Then you have the other extreme, fully autonomous. For something like an oil rig or a power plant, no way. That's just way too risky. So the sweet spot, the one that's really getting all the attention, is the orchestrator model. This is where the human expert acts like a conductor, setting the big objectives and then supervising a whole orchestra of agents. You get the speed and power of AI, but with that crucial human oversight.
But of course, and this is a big but, handing over this much control to an AI raises some huge questions. You can't just flip a switch and hope for the best, not with stakes this high. You have to build this whole thing on a foundation of absolute trust.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? In these industries, we're talking energy, manufacturing, where the margin for error is basically zero. How do you make sure this is safe? How do you build that trust? Well, the answer starts to become clear when you look at what the people in charge are actually worried about. Check out this Forrester survey data. It's super telling. They asked leaders, what are your top priorities for governing these AI agents? And look what came in at number one. It wasn't speed, it wasn't efficiency. No, it's 65%. It was explainability and transparency. They need to know why the AI is making a decision. And right behind that, human-in-the-loop override capabilities. That tells you everything you need to know. The humans must be able to pull the plug. Control is absolutely non-negotiable.
This quote from Chief Architect Kaushik Venkataramaya just hits the nail on the head. AI accelerates judgment, it does not replace it. That's it, right there. The whole point is to make human experts better and faster, not to make them obsolete. The AI can run 1,000 scenarios in a minute, showing you possibilities you'd never see on your own. But that final call, that critical judgment, that stays with the human. It lines up perfectly with what we just saw in that survey.
So how do companies actually get there? S&P Global has this fantastic framework that lays out the journey. It's a really clear progression. You don't just jump into the deep end. You start with productivity, simple stuff, like automating back-office tasks to get comfortable with the tech. Then, you move up to optimization, where agents start helping you run complex systems more efficiently. And the final stage, the ultimate goal, is innovation. This is where AI agents are actually helping you discover things, like new materials for carbon capture. It's that classic crawl, walk, run approach. You build the trust and the capability together, step by step.
And that brings us to what's next, to the horizon. The most important thing to remember here is that this is going to be an evolution, not a revolution. It's a steady march toward a more autonomous future, and it's being taken one careful, deliberate step at a time.
Just like that S&P framework showed us, this whole thing is going to be evolutionary. And why is that? It's simple. In these high-stakes fields, trust is everything. It's the only currency that matters, and you have to earn it. So you start small. You prove that an agent is safe and valuable on a limited task. You build on that success. And only then, once that trust is solid, do you even think about giving it more responsibility.
So when you boil it all down, this really isn't a story about humans versus machines. Not at all. It's a story about a new kind of partnership. The real question we need to be asking ourselves isn't, will AI take our jobs? The real question is, what kind of partners do we want to build? And maybe more importantly, what kind of partners, what kind of orchestrators do we as humans need to become?